I switch on, yeah, pause, stop. It shows me that you're viewing Jameson screen. So yes.
Perfect. All right, let's do it. And you can see the IndaHash screen, right?
Yes, I can. I see actually our landing page.
What's up, crypto junkies? It's Jay, and welcome to this video. In this video, I have a special guest, and this is going to be a little bit different, but I'm hoping a new kind of video that we start to launch on a channel, which is where I actually interview a CEO or somebody heavily involved with one of the ICOs that we're profiling. As you know, we've recently profiled IndaHash, which is an influencer platform that I'm super excited about and incredibly grateful to have Barbara, the CEO, on with me. Barbara, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Hello.
All right, cool. So I've gone through the platform, super excited about it, and I think it'd be really beneficial for our audience. You know, our audience is growing to hear more from you. I know that that's a big deal nowadays. This transparency piece is really huge with any ICO. So if you don't mind, I had a couple of questions, and then I really just wanted to take a little time and to get to know you and really kind of figure out what makes you tick, if that's okay.
Sure, of course. That's why I'm here to answer a lot of your questions.
Okay, great. So I've been through the site, and when you come to the site, you guys have some really well done videos. But what is like the Cliff Note version of somebody who maybe haven't gone through the videos, haven't gone through the site on IndaHash? What would be your Cliff Note version of it? So
regarding ICO, we are a mobile app-based platform that connects brands with influencers. And right now, we have working business after 2 years, almost 2 years, 7 offices, more than 130 people in our team. We conduct campaigns on 70 markets. And we see that tokenizing influencers industry, we can bring it to completely different level. So we can change how brands work with influencers and also how influencers build relationships with their audiences. And we also see a lot of use cases of tokens in our current business. So first of all, we will solve the issue with payments. Right now, influencers have to wait 30 to 60 days because we work with the biggest brands, and that makes influencers waiting for the payment. Choosing token, influencer would be able to be paid immediately, and also there would be no minimal withdrawal. It's also important to mention that majority of our influencers are mid-tier and micro people. So sometimes one campaign is not enough to withdraw money for them. In case they choose tokens instead of fiat, they have it immediately, no minimal withdrawal, and we also incentivize them by giving them 20% more in tokens than in fiat. This is one thing that is already existing challenge in the current business, and this is how using tokens we can solve it. We also came up with some more ideas, and we created entire crypto economics for 3 groups: brands, influencers, and audiences. Another one is pay with fame. Majority of brands prefer to reach influencers because they're spreading the trends for them, and that's why using current app, we came up with an idea that influencers would be able to get early access, exclusive access, or discounts from brands, because influencers also decide that they want to buy some brand or get something earlier or exclusively comparing to other people. Let's say there's a new pair of Air Max from Nike, and if you're an influencer, if you reach appropriate KPIs, then you're able to get it earlier. Or there is an event organized by Nike and it's limited number of tickets. So some of influencers would be able to join the event. Or in another case, there is also another, let's say, Nike clubs, and you would be able to get discounts.
Yeah, that's huge. That's a huge exclusive factor.
Yeah, I think so. And we think that using tokens in this case would be very efficient for influencers and also for brands. And there is also one more, because previously I have been working a lot with YouTube directly. because of the previous company, and there was a big focus there on audience development. We came up with an idea that if we let influencers to create their own tokens, they can reward their fans for some particular activities. So let's say you as influencer, you would be able to set some rules, who you want to reward and for what. And once someone is rewarded, they can return those tokens to some exclusive things from you. So for example, signed t-shirt, signed mug, or access to your videos that are not public, or invitation for your event. So depending on the type of channel and type of activities, each influencer will be able to adjust it on their own.
Got it. Yeah, and that's big. That's something that was actually a question of mine, is why wouldn't you guys just leverage an already existing cryptocurrency versus coming up with your own? And I've already heard like 3 or 4 big reasons why, but another big reason why I'm going to assume is because by you guys having your own coin, you're going to allow and enable this whole secondary process of the influencers to create their own cryptocurrency to give away for their user base.
Exactly.
Am I right in that assumption?
Yeah, very right assumptions. And also we want to be the cryptocurrency for influencers. Looking from this perspective, it's also about volatility, because we expect our company to grow as we grew, comparing year over year, over 300, something about 300%. We expect further growth, and also there is predicted the influencer marketing industry to be worth 5 to 10 billion by 2020. We also would prefer our IndaHash coin to reflect the growing value of our company and growing value of the market.
Yeah, which I think my personal opinion is, I knew a couple of people that were running influencer marketing agencies, and in a lot of what you talk about, like, I can vouch for the struggle that they had with working with big brands. You know, like there's GoPro Asia, there's Sony Asia, Sony US, and some of them are compartmentalized like that, but a lot of them aren't. And they used to have the hardest time with actually sitting down, getting the deal struck for the influencers, because they were kind of like that middleman, that bridge. And then also too, when it came time to get paid, like that was like pulling teeth. And it's only because of how much red tape and then how much processing that was required. So by just like breaking down that barrier right there is going to be huge, and it's going to allow for even more growth, I think, in the influencer marketing world. Because I think influencer marketing, I think it's already $1 billion industry, even right now. Like, call me crazy, but I've sat and watched the explosive growth of YouTube, the explosive growth of Instagram, and I actually think it's already $1 billion a year business. And it's been proven time again with how big it really is,
Yes, and we also did our own research on our influencers, and the main conclusion from it was that influencers are becoming publishers. So I think in the future, the budgets that are going to publishers, the great part of it would go to influencers. Of course, it will take time. It wouldn't happen next year or even in 2 years. But this is the trend that has already started, and I think it's very, very strong and would grow, because it's actually even not a trend, it's a change in the media consumption. Because instead of watching TV, listening to the radio, or buying newspaper, we just follow other people, and we also follow the recommendations. And I don't know how about you, but I spent a lot of time looking at Instagram, looking at Facebook and Twitter. This is, I would say, for me, the main source of information, and I am not the only one. I would say that even for younger and older people, following another people became much more.
It's like that firsthand experience, like that. What the Kim Kardashians and whatnot paved a few years ago, like it's out, and that's how everyone's living. I don't know of a single person who watches a commercial, for example, on TV. I don't know of a lot of people who watch TV, but let alone, like, when is the last time somebody that like didn't have the ads or the commercial section muted when they're watching TV? Like, for the most part, I don't know anybody that's watched a commercial in a very, very long time. But now we start talking about all these new mediums, we start talking about that direct, like, firsthand experience element of what influencer marketing brings. Yeah, it's huge, absolutely huge.
I completely agree, and I'm very happy that you mentioned people's blindness to advertisement because also we are somehow overwhelmed with ads in general. So we look at the content, and we look also for the content that is credible, not for ads who are displayed everywhere. I think that this is
it's like a generic blindness happening, right?
exactly.
So we're seeing so much ads. We're so inundated with, I guess, adverts of some sort, right? Like whether it's a video, whether it's like a Facebook ad, whether it's, you know, got audio or not, like there's just so much of it. I can't remember the stats, but I remember reading this piece, and this is like a year ago that I read this, but even at that point, they had done a study maybe in 2015, 2016, and the amount of media we got in like an entire year in the 70s, we were getting on a daily basis in the 2000s. Ever since like really the internet really took off. So if we extrapolate that out a little bit, here we are 2017, like I wouldn't be surprised if the amount of media that we consume is that much on a regular daily, weekly basis, because it's a lot. We just don't realize it.
Yes, it is like also I believe very much in the power of mid-tier and micro influencers, because also the biggest influencers, as they have more awareness and they have also a lot of partnerships with brands, very often they are also less credible than people who are mid-tier and micro, and other people, their followers treat them as very credible, and they're also usually much more engaged. So as we compare engagement rate from the biggest channels to medium or small channels, then we see that there's a huge difference.
Yeah, like our channel, to give an example, I can speak on that firsthand. Our YouTube channel, we get a ton of engagement. The amount of like private messages, the amount of comments that I get on videos, and I go on other people's channels that are in the crypto space too. And our engagement and the amount of comments we get is quite high for the amount of subscribers we have. 8,000 is a lot, but it's really not. And for the amount of engagement we get, like we're doing well. And I chalk that 100% up to the fact that like I respond to comments all the time. I'm very engaged with the community itself, which is, it's formed like this tight community that I remember back when we had like 500 subs, it was like maybe 5 people. And then we hit 1,000 and it's like maybe 10, 15, 20 people. And these are people that I'm seeing all the time on live stream with me. They're constantly commenting, constantly emailing me. And that, it still blows my mind. Like that little group now is probably over 1,000 people strong. Like we have a private chat channel, and there's 1,300 people in there right now at the time of shooting this. Most of those people I talk to on a regular basis. So, and that all, you know, like it all started with like 5 or 10 people in a little group. So yeah, the engagement is through the roof. And as long as you can keep that and figure out a way to scale that as the influencer, then your result when you do bring products and services to your community, I think will always be that much better because of you've been able to hold on to that engagement factor, you know?
Exactly. And imagine now you as influencer, you're able to use your own tokens just to reward this 1,000 people or 500 people and give them something that is very special from you. So give them tokens that they would be able to return for something that is important for them to be in touch. And I think that this can also help you to bring it to the new level and make them even more engaged.
Yeah, I agree. Let me ask this. This was one of my questions actually is, and I know it might be a little bit out in the future, but how hard or easy will it be for an influencer like me, let's say, to go and create my own token within the platform? I assume it's going to be easy, but do you have any more info that you can kind of give on that?
Yeah, we want it to be extremely easy because we want everyone to be able to do that. And we will also spend a lot of time and effort to make some explanation for people, how they can use it, to give them some ideas for what they can incentivize people and how they can adjust it to their specific. Because one person is posting about the cryptocurrency, another one about cooking, another one about parenting or traveling. So we want everyone to be able to do it using our existing app, and we want to keep it extremely simple, and we will also engage influencers to show how can it work for other influencers and explain the benefits from it. So in general, also when we were introducing IndaHash, it was something new. Because in app you see your rate per post, everything is automated. We also had to explain entire system, how it works to the people. So I think that we'll do our best to repeat it and do it even better improve it.
Got it. And that is a great pivot into my next question, which is like what you're taking on is big. Like this is a big space. Like there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of, there's a lot of money there. You know that, I know that. Like what's driving you to tackle and take on such a big market? I feel that it's wide open, and I'm sure you probably feel the same way, but yeah, like if you don't mind sharing, like what's some of the things that are driving you to really move forward with this and really to start it from the get-go?
Well, the story behind IndaHash is also my personal story, and I started working in media industry. Actually, it was communication agency at the beginning of my career. And at work, I met a friend of mine who started his YouTube channel, and he asked me for the support, and I was doing managerial services for him. And then another YouTuber approached me, and we started together and founded together a multi-channel network that was working very closely with YouTube. It grew to be the biggest in Central Eastern Europe. I exited from this business a year ago, and that time it was also working as a talent agency for the biggest YouTubers. And working with them, I saw how the process works. I started thinking how we could possibly automate entire process, make it much more efficient, and also how to use technology to let clients choose if they prefer to work with one big influencer or 100 medium or micro influencers. And this is how actually we came up with an idea of IndaHash, and we started working on the platform.
Nice. So you're talking about LifeTube. That's the one that you walked away from, that you co-founded? Okay, cool. What's the process like for an influencer? Like, I haven't downloaded the app yet, but I've got the app down. I'm seeing all the projects and the work. I can assume how that works. I used to own a software company way back when. I can kind of make some assumptions on how that would work, but like, how easy is it for somebody to get booked? Like they see the jobs and then they put in a proposal like of a photo, like on Instagram of a photo idea, or on YouTube a video idea, or how is that working?
Well, somehow yes, but it works like this. You download the app, then you go through a verification process. It's very important because not everyone is verified. You have to have higher engagement rate than the average and over 700 followers and good content quality. Once you're verified, then you see the campaigns that are available for you if you are in the target group of currently running campaigns. And then you submit that you want to take part in a campaign, and then you have 24 hours to propose the video or photo content, and then the brand approves of it or wants you to change something slightly. And once it's fully approved, you post the content on your social media, so Snapchat, Instagram, or Facebook. And also, once you download the app, you see your rate per post. So it's not that you negotiate it each time. You see it, and it also changes according to how your reach and engagement changes.
Oh, wow. So based on the result, it fluctuates the amount you get paid in the end?
Exactly. And it changes every day.
Yeah, that's really good, because like that goes both ways. If somehow you've maybe like lied about the engagement you get, or your followers just aren't that active, then you probably shouldn't get paid as much as somebody who's got this maybe underground channel that has insane engagement that gets them a huge ROI. That's big. Wow. I didn't know that was built into the platform. So that's just automatically kind of happening in the background based off of it's measuring the result of the post itself, right?
Yes, exactly.
On the platform.
It measures the results of your account, actually. So it depends on, for example, let's say today you post a content that makes your rates higher, so your rate per post also increases. And tomorrow you post something that decreases your average results, so it will also slightly decrease.
Okay, got it. So it's constantly measuring and readjusting.
Yes, exactly.
Good. And that's all built in, like that's what, algorithmic, I'm going to assume?
Yeah, of course. It's our technology who measures that and gives particular rate.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's really all the questions that I had. And what I kind of wanted to go over is, did you have anything last minute that you wanted to add? Anything exciting going on with, I know that the ICO is running right now. Any new updates or anything exciting you want to share or add?
We have very good results for our ICO. I think that the new thing about us is that last week, as far as I remember, we got a UK Business Award, which is amazing for us. And also a few days ago, we were on the Times Square. And also, if anyone has any questions, we're happy to answer it on our Telegram. Right now, our community has over 9,000 people on Telegram, so it's quite active.
Wow.
So if you want to ask us anything, join our Telegram.
Well, congratulations on the award. That's great. And thank you so much for jumping on with me. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure the community will thank you as well. So yeah, I'll have the links underneath the video for their Telegram group. And then obviously, as you heard, if you have any support or any questions, just feel free to reach out to them and they can answer them for you.
Great.
All right, thanks so much for
so much. Thank you.
Yep. See ya.
See ya.